feel weirdly guilty when I recommended Asana over ClickUp. Like I was breaking some unspoken tech VA code because ClickUp's supposed to be the one with all the features, right? And it's the one everyone has been talking about. And I honestly even almost switched at one point. But after setting up systems for a few dozen service providers, I've got thought. Not just this button is here or this one integrates with that. I'm talking about the human side. The client onboarding while your baby won't nap side. The team misunderstood that again side. Hi, I'm Samantha, here to help online coaches, freelancers, and other small service-based entrepreneurs organize and streamline their business operations so that they can save time and mental energy and focus on what they love to do. Today, I'm breaking down Asana versus ClickUp with the real-world lens of service providers in 2025. Which one's better for your brain, your business, and your bandwidth? Also, comment below, which one do you use right now? And if you've switched in the last year, why? I love hearing the behind the switch stories. Okay, let's be clear. Neither one of these tools is bad. They're both powerful tools, but they're not the same. Asana is structured, visual, and tidy. ClickUp is customizable, decked out, and sometimes kind of overwhelming. So this isn't a feature by feature breakdown. You can Google those. This video is about use cases. What's it like to live inside these tools as a service provider, managing actual humans and projects, not just demo templates. So here's my breakdown of when Asana wins the comparison. Number one is when client systems are your focus. So if you're creating repeatable processes for onboarding, delivery, or communication, Asana shines. It's super clean. You can see a task and immediately know what's due, who's doing it, and what's next. No sidebar clutter, no confusing status updates. Clients understand it faster, which means less handholding and fewer "where do I find XYZ" emails. And that really matters if you work with clients who don't live in project management tools all day. Like maybe they're a life coach or a web designer or someone who thinks Kanban is a new kind of yoga class. If they open your system and instantly feel overwhelmed, that's a problem. Asana makes it way easier to keep things intuitive. It's also ideal if you're building templates for recurring services, say onboarding a new client every month or prepping content for a podcast launch. You can create one solid process, duplicate it, and know nothing's getting missed because everything's clearly mapped out. You can even layer in automations and it still feels simple, not like you've built a spaceship. Okay, number two is when you want a team tool that doesn't feel like homework. Now, ClickUp can feel like a second job to your VA or your team, whereas Asana is more set it and go, especially when paired with a good SOP bank. This matters so much more than people think. If your team dreads opening your task manager, things get dropped, or done halfway, or delayed while they message you asking, wait, what's this for again? But with Asana, especially when you combine it with SOPs or even little task level instructions, it becomes more like a friendly checklist than a high stakes scavenger hunt. Number three is when your brain likes containers. So Asana's sections and subtasks make it easier to see the whole flow without digging through layers. There's something really comforting about opening a project and seeing everything in its place. Your client onboarding section, your weekly admin section, your offboarding section, and knowing exactly where to go. Subtasks can also carry their own due dates and assignees, which is one of those little things that makes a big difference. Like you can say this task is due next Friday, but also break it into 3 mini steps that happen before that. You don't have to shove everything into one long task comment thread that disappears into the void. It's like mentally satisfying. You can put it away and come back to it later, just like you would with actual Tupperware. Except you don't have to worry about mystery leftovers. Okay, next is where ClickUp shines. Number one is when you want everything built in. So ClickUp gives you a lot right out of the box: docs, dashboards, goals, time tracking, even whiteboards and mind maps. So if you're trying to consolidate your tool stack and run everything from one login, then ClickUp might be a good fit. For example, if you're currently using Notion for SOPs, Toggle for time tracking, and Slack for internal comms, ClickUp has a version of each built in. That's not to say those features are always better than standalone tools, but they are there. And for some businesses, the convenience is worth it. Now, Asana doesn't try to do all of that natively. You'd need to pair it with tools like Toggle or build custom integrations. But for a lot of service providers, that's actually a good thing. It keeps the system focused and less prone to bloat. All right, number two for ClickUp is when you crave deep customization and built-in everything. ClickUp gives you a whole toolbox to play with. Docs, time tracking, mind maps, whiteboards, workload dashboards, even in-app chat, all built in. You can essentially replace a stack of tools with one platform if that's your goal. Whereas Asana doesn't try to be everything, it focuses on being clean, powerful, and intuitive. And honestly, with the right setup, it can run circles around ClickUp in terms of user experience. But that's just my opinion. But if you're someone who wants native time tracking inside a task, or if you need to create a client portal using docs and custom dashboards all in one place, ClickUp delivers that out of the box, and it is more customizable. That said, just because ClickUp can do more doesn't always mean it's the better fit. Asana keeps things lean and focused, which with the right SOP systems, templates, and views can be even more scalable and team-friendly long-term. All right, number 3 for ClickUp is if you want to replace other tools. So ClickUp can be incredibly powerful, but it's also more complex. That means you may need to spend extra time onboarding your team or clients, building out views, and revisiting your structure when things change. So just a heads up on that. Whereas with Asana, it's often easier to get buy-in from less tech-savvy users. There's less to learn and less risk of someone breaking a view or getting lost in the weeds. I know this from experience. I have set up Asana for less tech-savvy people and people who are brand new to it. With my walkthrough videos, they're able to easily jump in and use the systems that I set up for them. Asana is very user-friendly in that way. So if your priority is ease of use across the team or client base, that's something to weigh. Okay, so ClickUp pitfalls are steep learning curve and can feel overwhelming, easy to over-engineer, and can be glitchy, especially with new releases. Asana pitfalls are less customization, not taken as seriously and people don't see its full potential, and no native time tracking. Okay, let's talk through some real-life situations and what might work best. Spoiler, Asana can shine in all of these if you use it well, but I'll give you the nuance. Okay, so scenario 1, you're a solo VA juggling 3 clients and your own marketing. I would say default to Asana. It's quick to learn, low on digital clutter, and makes it easier to track what's due without getting lost in setup land. That said, if you're already using ClickUp and love having your docs, calendar, and reminders in one place, you don't have to switch. Just make sure you're not spending more time inside your system than actually getting things done. All right, scenario 2, you're an OBM building systems for a 10-person team. ClickUp is tempting here because of the customizable dashboards, docs, and extra customization, but let's be honest, Asana can handle a 10-person team just fine, especially if your workflows are clean and you've set up solid templates and team rules, and it does have dashboards as well. The trick is using sorting, task dependency, and rules well. Choose ClickUp if the team is detail hungry and willing to learn, but stick with Asana if your goal is adoption, clarity, and fewer support questions. All right, scenario number 3, you want a DIY setup without getting stuck. Asana all day. It's just easier to get started without needing a PhD in productivity tools. You can build a functioning workspace in a weekend with just a couple of good templates. If you're the kind of person who gets overwhelmed by all the options, Asana will be way kinder to your brain. And you can always grab my templates to get set up super fast. Okay, scenario number 4 is you need dashboards and data for decision making. ClickUp does win here in terms of built-in tools. Their dashboard feature is more robust and you can track a lot of metrics in-app. But you can build out custom dashboards in Asana in the paid plans. It's just not quite as robust. Scenario number 5, you have ADHD and really struggle with these tools in general. Common problems that I see in my business. Honestly, I see this all the time, so I highly recommend Asana here. In this case, I recommend having someone support you with either setting it all up for you, customized to your unique needs, and helping you utilize it, like through my Asana VIP setup service, or getting pre-built templates to upload and start using right away, like in my Asana Essentials Toolkit. These resources are going to make it way easier, and I hear all the time how overwhelming ClickUp is for ADHDers. Asana is kinder to your unique brain. Okay, if you're still feeling stuck on which tool actually fits you best, that's totally normal. Both platforms are powerful, but your ideal setup really depends on how your brain works, what your team needs, and how much complexity you want to manage. If you want to see more of how my clients and I use Asana in our businesses, I have lots of videos for you to watch right here. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you're able to choose a tool after this. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear them. Just be kind, please. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.